Reach out and touch tomorrow. Take the future by the hand. We can see a new horizon, built on all that we have done. And our dreams begin another 1,000 circles round the sun. We go on to the joy and through the tears. We go on to discover new frontiers. Moving on with the current of the years. We go on, moving forward now as one. Moving on with the spirit born to run ever on. With each rising sun to a new day we go on. We go on.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is David Alexander. I'm the chair of the Leadership Council for Centers for Spiritual Living. My great pleasure to welcome you here to the Centers for Spiritual Living's Peace Day celebration. We're so pleased that you have all come out today to take part in this momentous event. We also want to thank all of you watching right here via live stream, our love stream on Facebook, all around the world. Today, September 21st, is the annual United Nations International Day of Peace. So we join people all over the globe who are commemorating this day and working towards making peace a reality in our lifetime. We've planned a very special day and celebration for you here, and we've brought together some special guests to help make that happen. I'd like to officially acknowledge them this morning. First, we have our spiritual leader for the Centers for Spiritual Living, Reverend Dr. Ken Gordon. Dr. Marilyn Leo, the founder of the Library Science of Mind Library and Archives. Reverend Norm Bouchard, the Senior Minister of Centers for Spiritual Living, Colorado Springs. And his music director, Ken Jansen. We also have Miss Meta King, 7th grade teacher, and her students from Evergreen Montessori School. All right. Awesome. And we have practitioner Sherry Jensen, our Centers for Spiritual Living teens, who have recently returned from a service mission to Jamaica. Let's welcome them as well. I'll take a moment to also acknowledge any of additional visiting Centers for Spiritual Living ministers. If you'd please stand up or wave and let us see where you are this morning. Thank you for being here. There's Reverend Julie, there's Reverend Robert. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I think we can all say for sure that we don't have to look too far in the media headlines today to understand the reason and the need for more peace in our world. Centers for Spiritual Living holds a vision of a world that works for everyone, and our mission is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. For me personally, that mission simply boils down to what now Saint Mother Teresa, who's on the cover of Science of Mind magazine coming up here this month, that we belong to one another. We belong to each other. That is our sacred covenant as humanity. And so in the spirit of that, and to open this up in prayer, I want to bring forward practitioner Eugene Holden, who is the manager of the Department of World Ministries here at Centers for Spiritual Living. Eugene.
So join me in speaking this word. As we take this collective breath together, I recognize that this one breath is the same breath of God being breathed here in Golden, Colorado, is the same breath that is being breathed across the world. And so I use this sacred breath to speak this word, and the only word that I know is God. That infinite intelligence that governs the universe through divine law and unconditional love. I recognize that this presence, this power, this love is permeating itself in, through, and as all of life everywhere. I recognize that it is showing up not only here in Colorado, but it shows up in Oklahoma. It shows up in Afghanistan. It shows up in Florida. It shows up in California. It shows up right where each and every individualized expression of spirit is in this moment. And so recognizing that it is everywhere present, I also recognize that it is the source of peace. And so I speak this word knowing that we are open and receptive and available not only to experience peace, but we are open, receptive, and available to be that peace. As Gandhi has said, to be the change we want to see. And so I speak this word knowing that peace is absolutely happening in this moment, not going to be possible. It is happening right here and right now. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we are, peace is. And for this, I give great thanks. And so we open up today's celebration in joyful celebration and in peace. And for this, and for so much more than eyes can see, ears can hear, and words can ever possibly convey, I remain forever grateful and thankful. And it is from this space of gratitude that I release this word of peace into the potent and always dynamic action of love and law, knowing that as this word is released into the law lovingly returns this word unto us peacefully, gratefully, and abundantly fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we allow it to be. And we anchor this together by saying, and so it is. Amen. I would like to now introduce Dr. Ken Gordon.
Thank you, Eugene. What a marvelous day to have for a peace day. But then every day would be a great day to have for a peace day, I would think. I think probably it is an intention that the world needs to embrace in a much larger fashion and larger way than it ever has in the past. And to do that, what we're doing here today is we're dedicating a peace pole. And the peace pole itself is only a material form, but it is the intention behind the peace pole that counts. And it's also important to note that we have been advocates for peace at the Centers for Spiritual Living, Religious Science, Science of Mind since 1927. There's never been a time that hasn't been part of our intention and part of our focus. And we're blessed today to actually put something in form that's going to demonstrate and remind us on a consistent basis that this is what our mandate and this is what our movement is all about and where we're going to. You know, building a peace pole is a wonderful thing, but there's more to it than that to bring peace into this world. As Dr. David pointed out, at this time and space in our world, we have an incredible opportunity to look around us and see the experiences of things that appear to be less than peaceful in our environment, in our country, in our world. And it really moves us to be able to take the steps that will transition and transform our society from where we exist right now and how we handle our fears and our sense of lack in the world. And so what I know for certain is that there is more activity and more action that is within the core of who we are than simply building form and putting it out there. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "It isn't enough to talk about peace, you must believe in it." And then she said, "But it isn't enough to believe in peace, you must work for it." And that's precisely what we as a movement and we as a world are required to do to be able to bring it into being and bring it into our experience in the world today. You know, it's the interesting thing is that each of us has a power within ourselves that has the ability to be able to do this transformation, has the ability to be able to change our own belief systems, our own thoughts. And as we do so, what we do is we dip into the collective consciousness of the world, the collective consciousness of our society, and we allowed something fresh and new to be able to be opened up. But it's important to point out that we don't create this. What we do is we bring it forward because it's always there. Peace and love are eternal. They have always existed. They always will exist. It is the core of who we are. And it's not for us to have to invent it or to create it. Instead, it's for us to be able to remove the obstacles that stand between us and what we see as peaceful existence on this planet. And to do that, what I recommend we do is that we absolutely ban in our lexicon this concept of hate. We take it and we throw it out, we dispel it, we disperse it, and we dissolve it, and we no longer allow it to be the driving point or the focal point of our lives. Because the problem is never what we hate, the problem is the hate itself. And it opens us to the possibility and the opportunity for us to be able to practice that as individuals, to be able to actually move into the world and be aware of where we're thinking and how we're thinking, so that it allows us to be able to see when we're motivated by something that is less than the love and the light that is the truth of who we are, the core of our being. It's with this opportunity and this practice that what we will do is we will ripple out around the world, and we will bring peace to exist in the world, and we will create a world that works for everyone. This is the mandate. This is what we've chosen to give our organizational life to at this time. And this is where we're moving to and where we're moving from. So all I can say is that I bless this day, this International Day of Peace, because it is a high recommendation that the world is watching, that something's happened at the United Nations that they've accepted and they've brought it forward so that it can be practiced by everyone in the world. And what I want to see us do is to practice it every day, every time, all the time. So I bless you. And I would like to introduce and bring forward now Reverend Mark Gilbert, who is the coordinator of our global services, to speak.
It's my great pleasure to be up here before you today to tell you about the Centers for Spiritual Living Waves of Peace Collective Meditation Program. This past summer, our Leadership Council approved the creation of the Global Services Planetary Waves of Peace group. It's a subgroup of our Global Services Committee, which is chaired by Reverend Chris Plim at Mile High Church. This new group, however, is chaired by Reverend Beth Linguri, who serves out of Geneva, Switzerland. So this is truly a global community group. It's also staffed by Dr. Nancy Anderson in Mexico, practitioner Gunther Meyer, who's in Berlin, Germany, and Reverend Patty Mercado, who's a minister in California, as well as myself here from home office. The new group was designed to focus on peace initiatives within the organization, and they've taken on as one of their first tasks the creation of a collective peace meditation program. They used the title Waves of Peace to honor the work of one of our ministers, Reverend Margot Rourke, who's done a lot of work in this particular area. We with Centers for Spiritual Living, we know the power of consciousness and how that power can be multiplied when more of us join together in the same vision. This is the collective vision and purpose in which David and Ken were talking about. This meditation project, however, is based on the truth that peace is now. It's part of our intrinsic being. With many groups worldwide meditating to embody and amplify peace, there truly will be consistent waves of peace in motion around the globe. Although we know that many of our spiritual centers are already holding peace meditations and peace groups and are engaged in this work and have been doing so for a number of years, this particular project offers those who may not be doing something the guidance and materials to support them in starting a routine practice of peace meditation in their life and community. Commitment and consistency is what gives this practice the great power to shift our consciousness. This program was originally announced by Home Office email a couple of months ago, and already the Planetary Waves of Peace group has received over 60 responses from people worldwide. A number of them have already stepped up and committed on their Facebook page for a dedicated time and location for their particular peace meditations. I encourage everyone to join in this program and in our prayers for peace in your own individual way. As our founder Ernest Holmes wrote, thoughts of peace and goodwill, a recognition of the unity of all men, will produce harmony. And we know harmony is something we long for. If you'd like to join us, you can find out more about the Peace Initiative at our internal website, which is ourcsl.org, and reviewing the member information there under the Peace Initiatives tab. Or you can contact me, Mark Gilbert, here at home office, markgilbert@csl.org, or contact anybody here and they'll get you to me. I hope this touches you and it's something that you want to get involved with, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. It's beautiful. As you may know, we are also planning to send some very important items today into the future by filling and sealing a Peace Day time capsule. The time capsule will be filled with many important items, including messages of peace written by the young folks, the students that are here today, as well as others from Colorado Centers for Spiritual Living. To help us do this, I'd like to introduce Dr. Marilyn Leo, who has a special message for us and a reading to place in the time capsule. Let's welcome Dr. Marilyn Leo.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here today, all the way from California, and that I wanted to be here for this particularly. I would like to share with you something that I found in writing my book, Chronicles of Religious Science. In the archives, I read all the minutes, and in, I believe it was 1963, at the convention, there was this World Peace Initiative. I'll read it to you. Whereas the members of religious science and the peoples of the world are seeking more peaceful existence, and whereas it is fitting and timely that churches launch an offensive to accomplish that divine purpose, and whereas such a goal can be attained only when people first accept responsibility for the establishment of peace within themselves, be it therefore resolved that the members of the Church of Religious Science, Ernest Holmes, founder, in convention assembled, do collectively and individually adopt the following pledge. I affirm my recognition that the peace of the world is a product which lies in the hearts of individual people, that peace among people must be accomplished first in peaceful minds. I therefore solemnly and sincerely pledge my earnest effort to rid myself of resentment, hate, and bigotry, to commit no outer action that stems from other than peaceful motives, that I may henceforth be one in peace, and I urge upon all people to good purpose a similar effort to find peace within, that the peace of heaven may be established in the experience of humankind. Be it further resolved that individual members of religious science churches around the globe and people of all creeds and faith be encouraged to accept personal responsibility for peace by signing a similar pledge. I have with me a copy of A Prayer for World Peace by Ernest Holmes that was in the original time capsule, and I will place it back in the capsule now. So we will now invite all of the children. They have written statements, essays regarding peace this day, and they are also going to go into this time capsule. There are, I believe, 3 students who will read what they've written. So if you'll all come up. Thank you. I'll just...
All right. I am Henry Stewart, and this is my letter. Dear world, in 25 years, I want to have world peace. I have 3 ways that I think that we could solve world peace. We can only solve world peace by working together. First, we need equality in the world among people. Second, we need to respect each other and be tolerant of our differences. Third, we need to share resources. If we have equality among people, I think that there are 3 reasons we could have world peace. 1, I think that it doesn't matter what color skin you have. We should all have and should be treated the same way. Second, we should all have enough money to help ourselves. Third, we should all have enough money to buy a house or something to have shelter with. If we respect each other, we will all feel better about ourselves. If you have a different religion than your best buddy, who cares? Respect that and don't get mad or angry about it. It doesn't matter what race you are. Be outgoing and be friends with people who don't have many. If you or someone is getting picked on because they are less popular, try to help them out and stick up for them. Third, we all need to share resources. Lots of the arguments today are about resources. This includes land, water, health, food, and shelter. Do whatever you can do whatever you can with your resources. If you have too much of something, share it with people who don't have as much. There are many ways for you to help with world peace. Sincerely, Henry Stewart.
Okay, I'm Keegan Lafferty. So this is my thing. Dear world, peace is obviously very important to our world today. I hope that from today forward, we can have respect for others and that we can show peace and respect for others all around the world. I hope we can respect each other's opinions and passions, and we can live in peace. In my opinion, peace shouldn't be agreement on everything. If all of us have the same thoughts or beliefs, where's the difference between us? Peace should be a way of finding agreement without using violence. Of course, feel free to argue all you want. How else are we going to agree? Also, don't let anyone tell you that your opinion is wrong. If you want to express what you think and let people know you're right, and don't use violence. Simple words and reason will let them know that you believe in a certain thing. I hope that we can find world peace, and I expect the best from you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Story Talbert. Dear world, I'm a 7th grade student in 2016. I dream that peace will be a reality, that one day terrorism will not be a thing anymore. I want this world to get along. I think whatever happened in those 25 years has been steps forward to world peace. I know that my generation is the next generation to try to achieve world peace. I know that despite our beliefs that we will come together no matter the color of our skin, of our religion, we will have equality. The human race is better than ISIS and terrorism. We are better than fighting over things. We were given the gift of love to love each other, not ourselves. These are my beliefs. I hope they haven't changed. I'm a kid that hopes other kids my age understand this and want to change the world.
Now, if the rest of you would like to add your letters to the time capsule. That all of them? Yep. All right, thank you. And I have one to add also. Peace. When we honor each other where we are, when we trust others as our equal, when we speak truth without fear, when we realize that love is our natural state of being, then we will know peace. Marilyn Leo, 2016. And I will enter this, and David is going to help me close the capsule.
And before we close it, we also have folks from Centers for Spiritual Living around the Colorado area that have brought things to put in. So would you please come forward at this time and add your items as well? And now we're going to officially dedicate our new Centers for Spiritual Living Peace Pole. And to do that, I'd like to bring forward Reverend Norm Bouchard, Centers for Spiritual Living Colorado Springs, who will perform the dedication and blessing.
Our affirmation will be in several ways this morning, and one will be a sung refrain as we bless the four directions from which this pole will radiate divine peace in our intentions. And so the refrain for that is, I am the place where God lives, moves, has its breathing. I am the place where God shows up, and Ken will help us with that as well. Since ancient times, people have gathered together and created sacred spaces, knowing that where two or three gather together, Spirit is present. Today we gather on this sacred ground and call in Spirit, who is always present, to sanctify and consecrate this pole as sacred, radiant, and holy.
Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, stated, "See only what you wish to experience, and look at nothing else." No matter how many times the old thought returns, destroy it by knowing that it does not have power over you. Look it squarely in the face and tell it to go. It does not belong to you. And you must know and stick to it that you are now free. So this day, we do not see the violence and discord. Rather, we see peace. Call in peace and stay in a peaceful consciousness.
This peace pole now becomes a beacon. It represents the radiation of peace in all four directions of our planet. The intentions from young, seasoned, and old call in and radiate this divine energy. And so this morning we invite the whole of creation to be one with us as we bless the four directions, radiating peace from this peace pole. So I invite you to stand, and I invite you to extend your hands toward the north, which is directly behind us. Ah, great Spirit of the North, we claim the strength and power to bear what is cold and harsh in life. We come like the buffalo, ready to receive the winds of discord that truly can be overwhelming. Whatever is cold and uncertain in our life, we claim the strength to bear it. Do not let the winter blow us away. O Spirit of life that is within us, Spirit of the North, we know peace and warmth for all of our brothers and sisters in the North. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. And now I invite you to move toward the east. Extend your hands toward the east. O great Spirit of the East, we turn to you where the sun comes up and from where the power of light and refreshment comes. Everything that is born comes up in this direction. The birth of babies, the birth of ideas, the birth of peace, the birth of international friendships. O Spirit of the East, we own the light of peace at this moment in our hearts, and we radiate it to all of our brothers and sisters in the East. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I now invite you to move to the direction of the south. O great Spirit of the South, Spirit of all that is warm and peaceful and gentle and refreshing, we call in the spirit of growth, of fertility, of gentleness, and of peace. Caress us with a cool breeze when the tensions of the world are hot. We claim the seeds of wisdom amidst the fear of difference. And we remember that we are simply one living, breathing body of the divine. We now receive the warmth of good friendships, gifts of peace through us that passes all understanding to our brothers and sisters of the South.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
And now we move our energy toward the west. O great Spirit of the West, where the sun goes down each day to come up the next, we turn to you in praise of sunsets, in thanksgiving for change. We claim peace and oneness with each sunset as we close our eyes. Each evening we breathe in peace, and we breathe out harmony to our world. Help us see in the glow of each sunset that peace represents a sweeter music, a cosmic melody that is far superior to the discords of war. O Spirit of the West, we now send the energy of peace to our brothers and sisters of the West. I am the place where God lives,
Moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
We claim and we own divine peace that is radiating from this pole, from this time capsule, and most importantly, from our hearts. And in the words of prayer of the St. Francis of Assisi, we affirm, Spirit, make of us an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. And where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love, for it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. This day, this pole, this time capsule, and us are now sacred. We own it, we declare it, and we let it be. And together we affirm, and so it is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as a center, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right, we want to thank you again for being here today, for all of our special guests, for everybody watching live online, and for everybody here. We want to invite you inside to the global headquarters for Centers for Spiritual Living. We have refreshments, we have tours of the library and archives, and our kids who returned from Jamaica have special videos and presentation they'd like to share with you as well. So please come on in. Everyone's welcome. Thank you for being here.
We need peace in the world, or else we're going to have big problems. We're going to have a lot more war if we can't find peace soon.
It's actually really awesome because like I get to celebrate my birthday and peace. If you keep getting reminders of peace, you can remember that peace is important, and you can like always bring peace with you wherever you go.
I think it's important to remember that peace is important because, well, if our world doesn't remember peace, then how are we ever going to get anywhere? We need everyone to cooperate. Even if they don't do much, we need everyone to just be willing to help and do their part. We just have to remember, and one good way of remembering is by having a day dedicated to peace.
Hi! What did you think of Peace Day? It was awesome! I loved it! Yeah. Tell us the name of your school again.
Montessori School of Evergreen!
You guys rock! We'll see you in 25 years. Are you coming back?
Yeah!
Let me see some peace signs. You guys rock.